Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Lodge, which is a series. It's 2 seasons, and because it's British, it's like 15 episodes long. Like, British seasons or series of a series tend to be super short, but this is from 2016 to 2017. Like I said, 2 seasons. I only watched one episode out of the total 15. It's like 10 and then 15 episodes. It's I don't even know if this is necessarily a Disney project or just Disney took ownership of it for American distribution. I really don't know, but it is full of a lot of really pretty teenagers, boys and girls, and it's all about um, a girl named Sky and her dad heading to the country. Apparently, ding ding ding, her mother died. I do that whenever there's a Disney trope. I mean, like I just said, I don't know if this is really a Disney thing from the get go, but it seems like there's always a dead parent somewhere in something that Disney puts out. Just seems to be that way. Anyway, Sky and her dad are heading off to this lodge out in the countryside. This is filmed in the UK or like Northern Ireland and things like that. Everybody's I don't know where all the accents come from, but they're all the UK for the most part. Yeah. So, although I do know that Dove Cameron shows up at some point. I checked the IMDb and Dove Cameron from Descendants and stuff. I think she sure shows up in like 4 of the episodes, so she has an arc. But this is very much a product of its time, and that time hasn't been too long ago, and it still feels very modern here. Again, it's only what 6 years old, 6 7 years old total. Uh, so much of this feels like it was made at a TV or a movie studio, like demographic pitch meeting kind of thing, where they just took all the buzzwords that were happening in modern teen drama and just threw them together in this. One, this is a musical. Yes, this is in the era very much of when Disney was putting out everything was a musical, especially with teenagers. Not necessarily with princesses and frogs and elves and everything else. It's that area like early in the early 2000s. It was all unnecessary sequels to classic animated films and really low budget fantasy science fiction type um, inspirational type films for teenagers, some based on true stories, some that are just like yesterday's leprechauns. um, as it got later in that decade, this to the 2010s, everything became a high school musical or a well, that actually happened before then, but you know what I mean. There's just everything was seemed to be they had to sing everything that was happening to them. This, because the episodes are like 25 minutes each or so. Yeah, they don't spend a ton of time singing everything they're experiencing, but this has at least 3 or 4 moments where the kids are singing together over FaceTime and social media. The Sky is always taking a selfie with uh, after anything important happens to her. She'll take a picture. A boy gives her a ride on a bike that she immediately gets a crush on because dad almost runs over him on the back roads as he crosses paths with him. And so she has to get a ride to the lodge on the back of this boy's bike. And after they get off the bike, selfie. And then another boy helps her out with something, selfie. And of course, there's a big mystery to be had as she arrives. It's the lodge is run by her grandfather, but the staff is made up of mainly teenage kids. There's Kaylee and let's see, Ben and Sean. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, Sean. Sean is the hunky boy that she first meets, and then there's Ben, who is his best friend, and then there's Kaylee, And then there's Jaden, who is her friend from the city. She's a city girl coming to the country. It feels like a Hallmark movie, sort of, but she's not a middle-aged woman. Um, she's a teenager, and so she's coming there to help take care of the lodge, or so she thinks. This is a place where her mom grew up, and she spent some time as a kid there, and she hadn't been there in a while. But because once it was something in her mom's will that Sky gets to run this lodge, because that's what a 16-year-old, apparently, I guess that's how old she is. She's somewhere around that age. Like a teenager would get to run a country lodge. Sure, why not? Why not let her dad, who's been doing this all this time, run it? Well, the thing is, she shows up and everybody already hates her. The teenagers already hate her because they, one, love working at the lodge. They love running things. Um, it's their life. I mean, they're country kids, and that's their big excitement. Just having people come in and do all sorts of things. And well, guess what? They reveal to Sky that the whole purpose that her dad is here, that she's here, is to sell the lodge. And that's why they're not too big fans of Sky and her dad. And Sky had no idea. So Sky realizes, hey, dude, we got to stop this. And the kids are all behind her. And so that's pretty much the impetus of the entire series, and at least the very first episode. Will she succeed? Will she take over a lodge and then, become, uh, have it succeed and not have to sell it? Oh, by the way, sell it to the dad of the cute boy, Sean's dad? And is there more of a mystery behind her mother and Sean's dad? And there's another girl who is from the country there. She's friends with Kaylee, and she's on a TV reality show about teenagers called My Amazing Life, I think. And it's all through social media. Like, people just watch streaming videos of these kids, and she's being followed around by a producer and a camera crew who suddenly finds Sky's story much more interesting than just some small town girl who is just likes fashion. So it's teenage soap opera. And you know what? Hey, you got Degrassi, you got, out of Canada, we got all sorts of stuff here in America. Why not one more out of England? And hey, it's 25. No, sorry, it's 15 episodes. I probably could have blown through this entire thing in a day, but I'm not gonna. I mean, it's not bad. It's well produced. It The musical moments are a little bit. They literally just come out of nowhere suddenly. Like, you don't even. They sideswipe you as I'm having a conversation, then I'm singing this, and like they suddenly start singing, and it's a moment where music, the very poppy music, comes out of nowhere. There's not like big High School Musical numbers where there's dancing and choreographed dancing and all that stuff. No, there's not that, but there's singing, and yeah. So everybody gets a piece. Everybody gets a part. I think Kaylee is the one who is very. Is a talented singer in real life, or at least she's her character, I should say, is a talented singer who wants to be a singer, whereas everybody else just sort of sings, and nobody calls attention to it. Like when Sky goes to try to stop her dad from selling the lodge, she's already singing singing the situation out loud, and he doesn't bat an eye. Like, oh, this is life, and he goes along with it. So yeah, I've given you way too much about the first episode. If this is your kind of thing, this is definitely not made for me. It's not something that they're just like, oh yeah, let's cater to Doug and his demographic. That guy who was around when Star Wars came out, the original one. Yeah, let's and cares too much about Star Wars. But yeah, they didn't make this for me, and that's all right. Everything doesn't have to be about me or people in my generation. if this is the kind of thing you like. If you like your teenagers singing and dancing and having their soap opera drama of romance and cute boys, you don't know who's Kai's going to end up with. Because is it the guy with the cheekbones, Sean? Or is it going to be the poor one, Ben? So, or somebody else completely. It's not her gay friend who is apparently kept separate from everybody else. I think it's that guy. I think it's that guy. Yeah. He's, that's Jaden. I think he's gay. They're inclusive, I guess. If I'm wrong, he just seems to be a little bit more in touch with a girl's romantic interests and doesn't seem to be interested in going, well, why am I in the friend zone? You know, it's like, girl, you got to get on that. It's like there's a number of cliches. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I'm sorry if I am, but I'm guessing that Jaden's gay. Nothing wrong with that. Hope he finds somebody he loves too in all of this. So, anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
489.
Oh wow, I didn't just go chronologically. 489. Oh wow. Okay, we're going to a classic. We're going to a classic, not animated, or is it semi-animated? Anyway, it's a classic Disney film. I'll just tell you what it is. We're watching The Absent-Minded Professor. Yeah. The Absent-Minded Professor. That's what we're watching next. I think is that Don Knotts? It's Don Knotts, I'm pretty sure. I could be completely wrong. There's a number of things that are based on The Absent-Minded Professor, but we'll come back to that later. The Absent-Minded Professor on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.